Today we're starting with band walks, surprise, but we're getting into a lot of posterior stuff. And we're gonna do a little bit new stuff with some new plyometric stuff. We've done box jumps, we'll do box jumps Friday again, but today we're gonna do some other stuff involving a med ball. So I think overall progression's really good. Did you go see a massage therapist?
Yeah.
Okay, so good, we're already on top of that. We wanna get his calves to be less tight. We wanna get his hips opened up more. He's already gotten stronger on the band. He's already gotten stronger on his reverse lunge. Today we're gonna really load up the deadlift and start doing some damage there. A lot of power. He's got a soccer player. He knows he's gonna be able to generate some force. Right, you might think about, well, this is his arm shake, it's his hips. When he's kicking a ball, whether he's rotating through his upper body, it's still his hips. Beautiful, switch. Good, knees out, knees out. Feel the stretch in your hamstring? Chest up, lift. Good, back. Okay, stretching the hamstrings before anything. Knees pop out. Good, chest up, ab squeeze, let's go. Lift hard. Good. Okay, there's three major things you should be thinking about a deadlift that'll make it easier. First and foremost, keep the weight behind you. Okay, if the weight's in front of you guys, you get into this position, that's way harder than this, right? Second thing you want to be thinking about is bracing with the abs. And third thing you want to be thinking about is pushing your knees over the ankle. 5, here we go, last one. Up, done, don't let go. Belts are great, they're a tool and they can be used. He's not going to be running with a belt, so we're not going to be using a belt, right? He's got to engage his pelvis, he's got to find the stability, right? Doesn't mean belts are bad. Belts are great for athletes if you're trying to power lift and your only goal is to lift as much as possible. But if I had a football player, I had a runner, I wouldn't really be relying on a belt, right? If I had a power lifter, I'd absolutely put a belt on them. If I had a bodybuilder and I needed the cue that I wanted him to keep his waist tight, I might, because the entire emphasis is aesthetics. Somebody like Brian, I want him to find bracing in his core. I'm making sure that he's starting to stretch his hip flexor in his own, because look, this is an elite level athlete and that foot is nowhere near here, right? He's just gonna continue to have issues with his hips. Why is his hips involved in this movement? I'm coming over to show you. So look where he's placed. See how he's having to lean forward? I'm trying to keep him here. These are his hips. They're all engaged there. When his quad is in flexion, he can't maintain pelvic stability while his quad is in flexion. Does that make sense? Because look, you can literally see the instability because he wants to lean forward like that. When I do this, he looks like, you know, he's in quite a bit of pain, because he is. Good, 1 foot up. Right? Why did his quad hurt after we did this last time? Because which quad is really, really tight? He's saying that his right quad hurt after we did it last time. We just looked and saw how tight his right quad is. If he comes in here and he trains and it hurts afterwards, he's saying it was so sore it hurt, he needs to go and stretch it. Why? Because we talked about this, because a muscle can only do one thing, it can contract. So it was staying contracted, so he needs to go and lengthen it. But that doesn't mean we're gonna stop training. We're just gonna do the stuff behind it so he can do it. We wanna load this thing up. I want him to have 80s in his hand. And by the way, we were doing body weight last week and now we're doing 40s. So we went from body weight to 40 pounds in a week. He couldn't even do it with his foot. So am I gonna take total credit for that? Yeah, because I also got him to go and get a massage, right? He had to get that massage. He wasn't doing it, but that's part of it. Part of it was he got the massage, which opened up the calf, so his foot wasn't cramping. The other part is we're progressing him. So he's opening up, we're actually stretching the hip flexor, we're actually massaging, we're doing the things we need to do so we can continue to progress in here. We're gonna get this guy brutally strong in the next 3 weeks. Now we're gonna go from no weight to a 55, right?
A skull.
Why am I a skull? A tiger, a lion. Why are we doing this? Because he doesn't look like it's a 7 out of 10. It doesn't look like it's an 8 out of 10. Somebody like this, he's a high level athlete. It needs to be like a difficulty of a scale 1 to 10, an 8 or a 9. I want him to push through that heel to come up. I think it all looks good. I think he's gotten stronger. I think that was hard. I think that was hard on his right side. I thought it was still pretty easy on his left, but I think he's just tight on his right, and we're gonna get his right a lot stronger. But overall, it was excellent. I don't want, he would come down. It's hard for me to even show it incorrectly. That's correct, through the heel. He was lifting up through the heel.
Why was I doing that?
Why were you doing that? Because you're too much on your toes, right? You need to be, yeah, you need to be back on your foot. Listen, people use the generic term push through your heels. That's not actually accurate. You're supposed to push through your foot, your entire foot, but the reality is most people, they push through the front foot of the foot, so we tell them to push through their heels because we're trying to overcompensate for the issue. Just push through your entire foot. This is already a huge progression. I wouldn't expect that the progression would be as much next week, but I would expect that pretty soon I'm gonna have to bilaterally load him, meaning both hands are gonna have to hold the kettlebell. If that starts to happen, we might actually just get the safety squat bar on his back. That's when we start to get serious, when I have to put the bar on someone's back because they're just too strong that their arms can no longer keep up with the situation. We're getting there. I mean, this is huge. This is 0 to 55, right? In a week.